Once, a loser boy got accidentally summoned to a new world by a goddess named Nomain, and now he cannot return because the MC was summoned here by a forbidden spell. Due to that forbidden spell, the goddess cannot return him to his world. After hearing this, the MC got scared and feared, but the goddess told him that he can now live a new life in another world, a world where goblins, monsters, and magic exist. After a moment, we got the MC's name, which is Takumi. The goddess told him that he can do multiple jobs like magic, management, etc., including Alchemist. The goddess blessed him with a new skill and told him that he is going to a new kingdom named Asgard. After being summoned to a new world, Takumi saw his face, which was handsome. He checked his bag and found some equipment, including money and meat. The goddess gave him all the basic magic, including some awesome magics like water and air blast. After walking some steps, Takumi realized that he could use the appraiser skill, and he used it to make a new weapon. Now he is very happy. He is looking for various equipment and some medical herbs. He gathers a lot in a mountain and is thinking of storing them in his inventory. But at that time, a small girl came toward him screaming because a monster rabbit was chasing her. Luckily, Takumi easily defeated that monster. Upon talking with the girl, he discovered that she is from Fort Village and her name is Mavi. After that, they walked toward the village. Meanwhile, in the Holy Sidonia Empire, some boys and one girl were together. The girl's name is Akami, who was thinking about the place. At that time, a girl named Elizabeth came to them and asked for help because all of them have some special powers. At that time, Akami felt that Elizabeth was not good at all. In the village, Takumi met Mavi's friends named Banga, a village hunter, Marta, and Boba, who was homeless. For a home near a place, Takumi used his magic to build his home, but he was struggling. So, all the villagers helped him build his home, and after some time, he got his new home in a new world. In his room, Takumi had some materials, and on those materials, Takumi used alchemy and made iron. He continued, and Mavi arrived to see him. She saw that he was not in a good condition. Moments later, Martha lectured him, and then Takumi continued his work. He made different types of materials and joined Boba to create even more new materials. In this process, Takumi's level increased. Alchemist level 30 and Blacksmith level 40. Takumi wasn't satisfied, so he came out and asked Banga how to make potions. He learned and tried to make them, but the result was not as expected. For more research, he went out and, while avoiding a plant, he suffered. Then he purified himself and was resting, but the goddess was not with him because a pig monster arrived. He tried to fight it, but his magic and weapons were not good enough to defeat that monster. The situation got worse for him because another monster appeared. He couldn't do anything right now, and at that time, the spider attacked the big monster. After some time, Takumi, after thinking, used alchemy magic on the bigger monster, which ended up defeating it. Takumi stepped forward to the village, but the spider monster wanted to be petted, and Takumi did the same thing as the spider wished. Moments later, he came to the village with the big pig, shocking everyone. That night, everyone ate pork and learned about the spider. Eventually, Takumi got new materials to sell, and for that, he had to go to the nearest city. Meanwhile, somewhere in this world, we saw a girl saying something, and the goddess was watching Takumi because she had some hopes for him. After that, day 1 passed, and day 2 came. Takumi woke up seeing himself wrapped in a spider web. Mavel, the spider, wrapped Takumi because she wanted him to play with her. After realizing that he was busy and not giving time to the spider, Takumi decided to play with her. At that time, Martha appeared and got scared, but after listening to the whole thing and seeing the web, an evil smile came to her face because she could make clothes with that web, and Mavel was helping them. Then, Takumi continued his way and came to Boba's house, where he got new armor. Banga appeared and clarified that Takumi could go to the city for more opportunities. Takumi showed his gratitude to them for being helpful toward him. Outside the house, Martha was going to dump the meat because it was poisonous, and there, Takumi appeared and purified the meat. Martha was shocked and gave him advice that Takumi should not use this magic in front of many people because that magic is so rare and could give him a lot of money. Now, Takumi realized that everyone had helped him a lot, so he made the village more protected by creating walls and many other things. After this, the person arrived to take him toward the city. They were shocked after seeing the village's condition. After this, Takumi arrived and gave the person to Banga. Papik was amazed by seeing the person, and a moment later, Takumi met everyone and got a new dress from Martha. He showed his gratitude toward all the villagers and said goodbye to his hometown. After this, on the way, he met some people where he was with Rael and Bolgard. All of these people are bodyguards of Papik. They got scared and attacked by the spider because it was disturbing her private space and sleep. Papik offered Takumi to sell his potions to him, and Takumi agreed. Then they stopped because a bunch of goblins had appeared to attack them. All the bodyguards came to fight those goblins, and they defeated all the goblins in a short time. After this, the day continued their journey. Days later, they arrived in Bolton City, and to stay in this city, he joined the guild suggested by Hans. After some time, he talked with Papik and confirmed the deal for selling the items worth more than 7 million. So he's a millionaire now. After this, Takumi got a huge house to stay at a cost of 1 gold every month, and for Takumi, it's not a big amount. While walking in the city, Takumi noticed a bad smell and discovered that this city had a big amount of pollution. The next day, Takumi used his powers and created a toilet, which was good for him. But at that time, he heard a scream, and it was Papik. But he was enjoying the comfort, meaning it was not a problem. Then, Papik discovered the toilet with a purifying water feature, and after knowing this, Papik promised that he would keep the skill of Takumi a secret and ordered 100 toilets, suggesting that Takumi could use slaves. Takumi wanted to decline, but ended up getting a guild quest. Then he came to a new place with Papik and saw a beauty, and the beauty said, "Go home." Then Takumi met Move-On, and after a short discussion, Move-On revealed a lot about slave contracts, which were not exactly the same as Takumi thought. Takumi described what kind of slave he wanted, and hearing Takumi's thoughts, Move-On said he needed 2 slaves. At that moment, Maria, a slave girl, came, and for some reason, Takumi was blushing. Then Takumi described his works and said that Maria was cute, which made Maria blush. She agreed to work for Takumi but could not sleep with him, which was not a problem because Takumi didn't want that. Then they agreed to the contract, but still 1 more slave was missing for Takumi. For that, he met Salvia, who was more than 50 years old. Then Move-On revealed Salvia's past, which made Takumi curious. He grabbed Salvia's face, and after knowing that Salvia was so strong, Takumi agreed to contract her because he could purify Salvia's curse. After this, the contract was formed, and the girls became slaves. They also met Spidey, got their room, and took a bath as well. The slave was in thought that her master had other plans. Moments later, the girls saw the dinner prepared by Takumi, and he suggested that the girls call him by his name, not by calling him master. Then Takumi met Papik and got his money. Upon returning, he prayed in the church, and no man appeared, telling him that this world follows 2 religions. One worships goddess Nomain, and the second follows the Church of Divine Light, which has no god. Nomain also told him that his decisions would shape his future. After hearing this, Takumi decided to focus on his decisions. Then, time passed, and 1 year later, in the Holy Empire of Sidonia, summoned heroes were doing their training, and Akami was not doing that because she knew Elizabeth's reality. Meanwhile, Takumi returned home and fell down while hiding his materials. Then, in another room, he was doing his experiments where Salvia was watching him. Moments later, she was worried about Maria, but fainted because of her curse. Takumi was able to heal her in a room, and now she is fine. Her curse is gone. At night, Salvia thanked Takumi, and Takumi revealed to her how he had been training to be strong to heal Salvia. After hearing all this, Salvia offered her life to Takumi. Now, in the library, Takumi is studying books about alchemy. Upon returning to his home, Maria revealed that she had shown Takumi to Salvia, and for Maria, Salvia was like a prince last night. The next day, they were creating toilets, and Takumi said that he had other works, so he needed Salvia to come with him, and Maria's job was to take care of the house. But Maria was not happy to be alone in the house. She cried to convince him, and Takumi checked her stats and was now ready to train her. But before that, Takumi created weapons for both girls and created blades for Maria. For armor, he created dolls for measurement. Several days later, the armor was created, and both girls were happy and got rings. Then, for the adventure, both girls got their guild cards. While checking quests, some ugly fat men came to fight for the girls, but Takumi easily defeated them and had a small talk with the guildmaster Barak, where Takumi received some quests. In the forest, they defeated goblins for a quest. Salvia and Maria were excited to fight the goblins, and the master, Spidey, was kept safe. Then they easily completed their quests and returned, but the guildmaster was shocked and got slapped by Spidey. Then they got promoted to level 1, and in the house, Maria needed some clothes to prepare underwear, but her design sucked, so Takumi made the design. Also, at that time, Papik came to visit Takumi to give him a new quest to meet the Lord of the Kingdom. They met, and the Lord thanked him for the toilets and also told him to be aware of other kingdoms. Then, in the house, Spidey told Takumi that he had not completed the underwear, so Takumi did his work happily. Now the girls were trying them on, so Takumi came into another room where his naughty self told him to wear or try those clothes on him. A new day, a new invention was made. It's a fridge, and the girls were happy. Also, Takumi was willing to upgrade his equipment and weapons, but for that, Takumi needed materials. For materials, Takumi met Hans and got information about a mine located in Forest City, and Takumi decided to go there. For that, he accepted a new quest to kill monsters in the mine, and Barak gave him new quests to defeat some monsters that would appear on the way. For these quests, Takumi would receive a prize and a rank up, so Takumi agreed. He wanted horses, and eventually, he got them. At that time, Rael came and talked to Takumi. Then both of them came to visit Papik, where they talked, and Papik said thanks for the fridge and ordered Takumi to make more. Meanwhile, Salvia was worried about Takumi, and when these two were returning home, Rael got attacked by Salvia due to a misunderstanding. Then they came into the house, where Rael met Spidey. Seeing that Takumi was living with these hot girls, he got jealous and ended up being rejected by the girls but got a bath. In the morning, Rael made his way, and in the house, Takumi made 2 new swords and also made his way to Forest City, where he met the blacksmith, Digambo. But now the monster level has risen and a new problem is waiting. In the Holy Empire of Sidonia, they experienced that Asgard solved their sewer problem, but the process was unknown to them. Their training was still going on. Meanwhile, Takumi cast a spell to keep Digambo safe. After this, they made their way into the forest and cut multiple tree monsters, but the problem was not gone. They could regenerate. For this problem, all Takumi's members used powerful attacks and ended up finishing them. They came to Forest City and the mine, where Takumi got materials and defeated mole monsters with a lightning attack. Because it ends in a short time, Maria is not happy. The next day, Takumi visits Digambo and makes new upgraded equipment for the girls and for himself. After spending some days, he tries his equipment and ends up smashing the wall, but the girls ensure that they don't see anything. Takumi gave their weapons to them. After this, Takumi made Slavia blush by saying she should protect her life first. While this happened, the goddess saw something weird. Now, 1 year has passed in Sidonia, where Yamato and Akaro are ready for their work to protect the nation. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Barkula's royal capital, Bakilots, the king knows about the purification magic. From Sidonia, this person wants the purifying magic secret, but the king declined it. Here, Takumi is having a conversation with Papik, where he reveals that in this world, there are 2 churches. One worships goddess Nomain, and the other worships Anat. However, Takumi decided not to get along with Sidonia, but Papik told him that the Lord has a request for Takumi. The Lord of Sidonia wants to meet Takumi. Takumi can reject this request, but he accepts it because the Lord has helped him. Now Slavia and Maria are going to the royal capital with Takumi. The journey will be long, lasting 7 days. Another day at the market, both girls are talking about how Takumi cares about others rather than himself. But at that time, Maria teases Slavia because she thinks Slavia is in love with Takumi. At the church, Takumi is praying, and he meets Nomain. She tells him that she is the only goddess and reveals that Takumi was summoned to this world 1 year before the other summoners. Now, 10 months have passed in Sidonia, and training is still in progress. Meanwhile, both girls have new dresses, and Takumi liked them. Then Takumi is now going to make a new chariot. For the horse, they have come to the forest where Slavia knocks down a monster. Takumi found a tree nearby and started to extract the wood. Meanwhile, Spidey is searching and finds a unicorn, but its condition is bad. Things get even worse because of these crabs. Now, both of them are in danger. The unicorn fainted and Spidey screamed, but she got saved by Takumi. Takumi tried to save the unicorn, but the unicorn didn't allow it. Takumi saved them by hiding them in his inventory, but he fainted because of storing them. Now Slavia contacts Spidey with the help of Takumi's mana. Slavia tells her the situation, and now Spidey understands. Maria went to get some medicine. After some time, Takumi came to his senses and said thank you to Slavia. After this, Takumi tamed the unicorn and healed her. Then, Takumi named the unicorn Camellia. Now they are going to have dinner as a celebration. In the kingdom of Barkula's royal capital, Bakilatos, at the Palam slave trading company, a girl got rejected by a man. That girl wants to earn money for her little brother, but for several years, She has been waiting for someone to take her with them. Another morning, the busy Takumi is going to visit Daigambo. In the guild, he notices something weird because a creature has appeared. Moments later, it is revealed that the unknown creature is Camellia. Barak meets Takumi. After this, Slavia is searching for a slave who could help Takumi. Maria joins Slavia on the road. Then both girls meet Takumi, who is sleeping due to overwork. However, the carriage is ready, and in this small carriage there is a fully furnished room. They continue their journey, leveling up, and Papik meets Takumi, amazed by the carriage. Papik suggests that if Takumi made one for the Lord, he could get 1 billion yen. During the journey, the Lord is thinking about how he can protect Takumi from others. Meanwhile, in Sidonia, Akami is reading a book where she learns that humans were created by goddess Anat. After traveling, Takumi has come to the capital. In a room, Papik suggests Takumi create a new carriage for the king, and Takumi agrees. He tells this to the girls, and after knowing this, the girls suggest Takumi bring a new slave. Again, Takumi agrees. Takumi meets the man. Meanwhile, Spidey scares a girl, and Slavia meets that girl. Then, with Takumi, Slavia meets the girl once again. The cat girl's name is Rainda, and she is good for Takumi's work, but Rainda is scared of rejection. Slavia tells Takumi about Rainda, and Takumi asks Rainda a question, but she is crying because she has no idea. Luckily, Rainda gets selected because she knows about the picture. After selection, Rainda tells Takumi to send her money to her family, and after Slavia's suggestion, Takumi agrees. Then Rainda meets the other members. Meanwhile, in Sidonia, the king wants to teach his opponent a lesson, but his daughter Elizabeth convinces him not to take any action because the summoners need time to enhance their power. Now, the time has come where Takumi is teaching how to make things using alchemy knowledge. One fine day, Takumi successfully creates a new carriage, and a man comes to see him. Later, Papik reveals that this old man is none other than the Majestic himself, which shocks Takumi. The Majestic thanks Takumi for his invention and help. Upon returning, Takumi receives a gift from the Majestic. It takes several days for Takumi to return, and with the money from the sold carriage, Takumi buys a mansion. Now he no longer has to pay rent. At that time, the girls' wages have ended, but they have no problem because they want to live longer. Even Slavia can live a much longer life than Takumi, and Maria wants to be buried next to Takumi after his death, a perfect death. However, in Sidonia, Elizabeth has a board in her hand, meaning she knows someone is behind this board who knows beautifying magic. Elizabeth wants to stop that person because she cannot allow anyone to disturb the dignity of the church. Meanwhile, in the forest somewhere, Takumi and Rainda want to join the guild to enhance their skills and become powerful enough to help other members. Eventually, Takumi agrees, and Rainda gets her guild card. Han suggests Takumi name his party because his party is the fastest growing party in the guild. But Takumi hesitates to name his party because he doesn't consider himself a party member for a long time. The guildmaster wants Takumi to be an adventurer and is training him to come up with a name for his party. After this, Takumi is in bad condition and thinking of a name. Other members suggest some names, but Takumi is not happy with them. Slavia is angry at the guildmaster because he made her master's condition worse and she is ready to chop his head off. But Takumi stops her, saying he gained a lot of new skills. Meanwhile, in Sidonia, training is still going on, and Akami has thoughts on the teachings of the church because she heard that humans were created by God and all living beings are children of goddess Nomain. But this kingdom's church says goddess Anat created other beings to serve humans. Akami is searching for the roles she wants to play in this world. Meanwhile, Takumi gives weapons to Rainda and Spidey. After this, Takumi gets punished because he still has no idea for a name. Then, a new quest appears for Takumi because everyone is busy right now and the journey begins. On the way, Takumi meets a man who wants Takumi's help. In their way, Camila kills some dogs and goblins. Moments later, they arrive in the town of Kilbus and eat a tasty lunch. Then night comes, and they enjoy milk and cheese, which makes Takumi and all members happy. Takumi wants to eat rice, but that's not an option for now. Then, a short conversation begins where the slave thanks Takumi for his help and says she is enjoying the present and has forgotten her past. In this conversation, Takumi comes up with a party name, the Wings of Nomain. Now, 2 days have passed, and Takumi is attacked by some bad guys, but with the help of Spidey, he defeats them. Spidey has also trapped some persons outside. Barak arrives with the help of Slavia, and Barak says that this condition is not good for Takumi at all. Thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next episode. in the next video. Do subscribe and like this. Drop a comment on how you like this video in anime. For now, you can check my other videos. Bye.